Sports Show, time to talk the game you love, of course, Baz. Golf, we love it. The Simpson Cup, of course.
I don't love it.
You don't love golf?
No, I've fallen out of love.
Why?
I had a 12 on the 17th last week, and that's the end of me.
Really? 12 on the 17th?
I had 12 on the 17th hole at the Vines.
Did you play any other holes or just the 17th for your
Yeah,
12?
I finished with a double bogey on 18 just to make matters worse, and then the golf clubs went in the classifieds on Monday.
Mate, as interested we are in your golf, which is 0, we need to talk about the Simpson Cup. So Gary Thompson joins us as always, mate. Let's get to the semi-finals first, mate. We know we've got Glenelg up against Kooyong, Royal up against Grange. How did the semi-finals play out?
Well, as I've been saying all year, that's such a close competition, and come the finals, you know, in the normal games, if it's square after 18, you just call it square. But both of the games were forced into extra holes this time. Glenelg against Kooyonga, we were certainly the underdog, but we took it right to the finish and went down the 19th, and the guy from Kooyonga played a magnificent hole, made a birdie to wipe us out, so they beat us 4-3. And then the other final, Royal Adelaide at Grange, it was a bit hard to work out who was actually the favourite because Grange had their home course, but Royal Adelaide probably had a better season. But come the final, Grange were leading, were 3-2, 2 square, and it finished up going 1 to the 19th, and the next game to the 22nd. Wow. 4 extra holes, and Royal Adelaide won both of them to get into the final. Yeah. So they were playing Kooyonga in the final at Royal Adelaide last week, and we say how hard they are to win. They haven't won for 71 years, which is like it's a staggering record for a club of their ilk.
It's an amazing record.
Yeah, so
71 years.
71 years. So somebody told me last Sunday. I sort of found it a bit hard to believe, but it just seems crazy.
Well, they need to go and talk to the softball girls. They
that is a really surprising stat, mate. When you've got a golf club like Royal Adelaide,
it's a big club. You think that
it's a massive club, mate.
Yeah.
But I remember when my lad played for Royal Adelaide in the Simpson Cup, going back a few years now. He's now with the Vines, obviously, but I didn't think they took it all that seriously then.
No, they probably...
That was their big issue.
They certainly went through a stage where it obviously wasn't really important to them, but that certainly changed over the last 5 or 6, maybe a little bit longer, but, you know, a couple of guys have really got behind it, and they've recruited a couple of lads, and you know they've been really strong this year, probably their best performance in a while. But and even in the final, I mean, as I've said all along, I really expect Kooyonga to win it, and they had 2 games, sort of their number 1 and their number 7 were well up, but the other 5 games with 5 holes to go, there was only 1 hole separating the 5 of them. So, but you know, they flex their muscle. Their depth just told in the end. They're strong all the way down the line, and it proved too good.
Yet the scoreline at 5.5, 1.5 looks like an absolute hiding. It looks like a flogging.
Yeah.
But if you look at the results, if you look at the actual games,
yeah,
it was a bit closer than that. It wasn't a massicre, but in the end, that scoreline says that Kooyonga probably got what they deserved.
And I think yes, they did. They, you know, look, interesting. The second hole at Royal Adelaide, but it was the 16th hole that they had to play. Yeah. I mean, it's a long par 5. It's a seriously good hole.
It is a very seriously good hole.
Kooyonga's like Will Summerfield, Heath Richards and Joe Hodgson came through and all knocked it on in 2, and 2 of them really close. 2 with it, well, I think Joe knocked it within about 5 foot and Will Summerfield about 8 foot.
On the 15th at Royal Adelaide?
On the 2nd at Royal Adelaide. Putting for, you know, so they had like couple really close for eagle, and Heath knocked it on as well, and they all won that hole. So, you know, just late in the game, just really good golf to secure it. So
good on them.
They did well. They did well. I think, you know, without any doubt, they were the best side, and they deserved it. Yeah. Good on them.
So what happens now, Gary? Clubs go down, Simpson Cup's over. What's
there's a few that it all goes back to individual now. A few of the guys go back and play. There's a few Varden events still to come. So they play in that, and then there's a bit of a break now because most of the clubs will also have still got their club championship to go as well. So they're normally played September, October. Wait for a bit of warmer weather, which we'd sometimes like the pennant to be played in a little bit warmer weather because we had a couple of ordinary rough days this year. But so and then most clubs will start to fire up again early February for a May start. You know, we sort of get the squads to. You know, most clubs will get their squads together and start practicing. You know. Try and play a few other courses just to sort of get a feel for them as well.
Any sneaky recruiting going on now in the off-season to try and strengthen up to get Kooyonga next year?
There will be. There certainly will be. They probably look a little bit younger. They go looking for a bit younger now. We used to, like Glenelg certainly did it for a while. We used to attack the southern area. We had a couple of really good players in Lockie Barker, Ben Leighton, Josh Hayes, you know, that we got from Wollonga or Mount Compass. Other clubs go looking in the country and find what they... But they generally go for the young to put them into their sort of their... Most of the clubs now, the Royals, Kooyongas, Grange, Glenelg, have all got a sort of a bit of a golfing academy or a golfing foundation for juniors. So we try and push as much into that as we can and, you know, hope they're your future.
One very quick one, Dark, because we've got to go. Promotion, relegation. Someone went down, someone came up.
Yes, Thaxted Park, who went down this year, or from last year, they beat Blackwood to go back up.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were a bit stiff last year to go down, but they
were, yes.
they bit the bullet and played young, very young. They had three like 15-year-old, 14, 15-year-olds. So that's worked for them this year. They're back in, and Southern will go out. So
good on you, mate.
All right, mate. Always appreciate you coming. I know it's been a ripping couple of months really with Simpson Cup. As always, Gary Thompson was our expert. Well done to Kooyonga. Stay with us. Still plenty to come on the show.